Have you ever imagined an African paradise gleaming under a bright blue sky, adorned with clouds woven like delicate cotton? Imagine a vast ocean of grasslands shimmering in hues that dance between emerald green and golden glow as the seasons shift. But wait, do not be deceived by this beauty, for these wild lands live in a constant state of turmoil, where survival demands primal instinct and unyielding fury. At the heart of this fierce arena, two brothers rise, born to be kings. They are the cubs Tao and Banda, heirs to the great Kanika pride. They were raised among buffaloes, forged by the bitterness of losing everything, yet they always rose again with unmatched strength. So join us today on this thrilling journey and prepare for an adventure that will capture your heart and mind. In their early days, Tao and Banda's world pulsed with warmth, their mother's rich milk, the shadows of dominant males that protected them, and the lessons of the aunt lionesses who skillfully chased away jackals. The Okavango Delta in Botswana was a royal banquet for them. Oryx, warthogs, zebras, and the star of the feast. The buffalo, the living wall, as rangers describe it. But never think of the buffalo as merely large prey. It is a strategic giant that can weigh up to 900 kilograms, capable of crushing a full-grown lion if it senses danger. Yet Kanika's lionesses turned these moving fortresses into feasts with astonishing coordination. Two lions distracted the target, others attacked from the flanks, and then a synchronized leap ended it with a precise chokehold. At 10 months old, Tao and Banda watched in awe, mimicking every move in their play as if rehearsing in slow motion. The savannah seemed endless, but every empire has its red lines. To the north lay the lands of the Gosa Pride, to the east, the territory of the Rowari Hyena clan. Between them were neutral corridors that turned into open theaters for the wild. Kanika's males guarded their borders with alkaline urine and deep claw marks etched on dry tree trunks. A clear message: enjoy it while it lasts, cubs. This land will not be yours forever. In adolescence, Tao and Banda's instincts erupted like a summer storm under a blazing noon. Two shadows appeared from the eastern corridor, nomadic lions exiled from a neighboring coalition. They weren't mere wanderers. The lionesses sensed danger and stepped aside for the resident males to confront the intruders under a sun that melted the rocks at over 40 degrees Celsius. Picture the scene: manes colliding, testosterone surging, a battle of giants. 1 minute of brutal strikes and bone-crushing bites, and the fight continued until one Kanika male pinned his opponent beneath his jaws. Then, in a moment of royal mercy or arrogance, he released the defeated lion instead of ending his life. Tao and Banda watched sharply, learning their first lesson. Strength isn't always in killing, but in knowing when to strike. Weeks passed, and the brothers' eyes absorbed power with every movement. By 18 months, they had earned their first invitation to the hunts. Their mother, agile and fierce, trained them herself. She would stalk, then leap, and Tao mirrored her steps precisely. Banda hesitated, then followed. Their prey was faster, but surrender was not an option. After hours of failed attempts, they ambushed an antelope, but the warning cries of vigilant baboons exposed their plan. With every failure came learning. By age 2, Tao and Banda's fierce features took form. Their hind legs had turned into pistons ready to burst forward at 60 kilometers per hour. They stood at the threshold of their final right, leaving the family. But fate had other plans. At dusk, the intruder who had once been spared returned, stronger, crueler, colder than ever. He confronted one of the Kanika males alone while his partner was patrolling afar. Beneath the acacia trees, a battle raged, unequal and savage. The invader, fueled by vengeance, struck with the fury of a storm. When the dust settled, the victor wore a crown taken by fang and claw. The Kanika family scattered like seeds in a wild gale, leaving behind a fallen king and conquered land. The lionesses, hearts heavy, refused to submit to the new tyrant or abandon their cubs. In the chaos, Tao and Banda fled together, but fate soon separated them from their pride, trapping them in a snare woven by the wilderness itself. From night to night, the brothers awoke to a world without guardians or borders. No buffalo feasts, no protective shadows of aunts. The savannah now offered them a single command: wander, hunt without help, follow scents carried by the wind, and stay alert, for danger lurked everywhere. Hunger, the invisible enemy, struck without mercy. On the fourth day of fasting, vultures circled the horizon, a sign of an abandoned carcass. The brothers' bellies growled like distant thunder. They approached. Tao bit first, but Banda hesitated. He smelled danger. Hyenas, perhaps, or worse, an older lion prowling nearby. But hunger roared louder than fear. They devoured the rotten flesh in heavy silence, chewing not just meat, but their pride. In exile, every bite is a treasure. 6 months passed like an eternity. Their ribs jutted like the ridges of barren hills. Thorn wounds healed, then tore open again with every step. But instinct led them to hidden treasure, a field rich with buffaloes swinging between mud and fresh grass. The females and calves followed a predictable path. It was a golden opportunity, yet laced with danger. Tao and Banda, still lacking experience, targeted a young calf. They crept through the grass, silent as shadows, until 20 meters away. But the mother's eye caught movement. The ambush turned into a trap. A wall of adult buffalo closed ranks and charged. The brothers retreated, but a thunderous roar shook the ground. A dominant male with a thick mane and dark limbs appeared, claiming the field. That moment taught them an instinctive lesson: never run toward a roar, and never abandon your brother. Adrenaline drove Tao to break both rules. He attacked the intruding lion with lightning fury. In a decisive instant, he survived, but bleeding heavily. The brothers fled, hiding in the brush, waiting for the right moment to rise again as kings of the savannah. November rains poured 400 millimeters of life. The savannah awoke in emerald splendor. Antelopes multiplied, warthogs dotted the horizon, and the channels overflowed. Tao and Banda, now with full manes and lean, powerful bodies, reaped the rewards of endurance. They stole from hyenas' kills, joined hunts with nearby lionesses, who, strangely enough, saw them not as threats, but perhaps as future kings. Banda excelled in the hunt. His roar shook the ground. Tao, however, discovered another weapon: charm. A lioness in heat strayed from her group, luring him with golden promise. But he forgot this land bore scars of an old rival. A thunderous roar erupted. Tao retreated just in time, realizing he had strayed far from his brother. That night, Tao did something rare for a lion. He roared for help. The echo traveled 5 kilometers, answered by Banda from the thickets. After hours of searching, their heads touched in relief. Tao had survived. They could rest, but not for long. A year passed. Time sculpted the brothers. Their manes grew darker, their muscles enviable. Their energy turned survival into ambition. The scent of females called again. They followed the trail to 3 lionesses with cubs. The resident male was away on patrol. Perfect timing. Tao advanced, Banda close behind. But the king caught their scent and raced back. This time, he faced 2 machines of fury. The battle lasted 5 minutes. The king fell motionless. The crown of the kingdom passed to the brothers. In the weeks that followed, the lionesses led the brothers across the delta's realms, through pools of constant water, scattered forests, and open plains rich with prey. Tao stayed with the lionesses to protect them, while Banda marked territory every 300 meters, declaring their empire. At night, they roared together, their voices tearing through the savannah, proclaiming the start of a new reign. Soon, the lionesses entered heat in unison. They mated with the kings, and within 100 days, 7 healthy cubs were born. The kings lifted their crowns high and prepared for what was to come. Every hunt now mattered twice as much. Every patrol became a shield for the future. Beneath an orange sunset, Tao lay as a cub slid down his mane, playfully biting it. The other cubs danced among the lionesses. No longer were there lions without a pride, but an empire reborn. Tao and Banda were now flawless hunters, vigilant fathers, fierce guardians, true kings. And all of it was possible because, in the decisive moments, they chose to rise instead of flee. Now, take a deep breath. Imagine the scent of fresh grass mingling with warm blood of prey. The open wild where epic tales are woven from fury, love of dominance, and pure defiance, sealed by blood and crowned by rare moments of peace.